Vaccine while pregnant. Some Siouxland State Parks struggling to find staff and now cutting their hours. And in Siouxland stories, a cemetery could soon be on the move. Your KCAU 9 News at 10 starts right now.
We are Siouxland proud. This is KCAU 9 News at 10.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on your Thursday night. I'm Sophie Erber. Tim has the evening off. Like the rest of the country, Siouxland is facing a surge in COVID-19 cases this summer as the more contagious Delta variant spreads. Medical experts are urging the population to get vaccinated, and that now includes pregnant women. But many stay reluctant. It's our top story now at 10.
Sophie, I spoke with one mom who actually contracted COVID-19 early in her pregnancy. She said her experience made her never want to go through something like that again.
Certain people still hesitant to get the vaccine. Pregnant women, too, were debating whether or not to get the shot.
The idea that this delicate newborn baby is going to be born with a little bit of protection, I just feel that it's the least that we can do as parents.
Abby Rook is 36 weeks pregnant. She received both doses of Moderna after contracting the virus early on in her pregnancy.
At about 7 weeks pregnant, I contracted COVID-19 and was incredibly sick. I was basically out of commission for about a week.
At the time, Rook had her hands full with a 14-month-old to take care of. She described her experience as painful and overwhelming, prompting her to get the vaccine as soon as she could.
I just realized I couldn't guarantee that I would still be protected by antibodies and different things, and I wanted to make sure that come the end of my pregnancy, things would go smoothly and that COVID wouldn't be a concern.
The antibodies cross the placenta and your baby's protected. And another reason to consider getting the vaccine in pregnancy is the benefits to your baby. The antibodies will cross in the breast milk. So not only are you protecting yourself from COVID in pregnancy, but you're protecting your baby.
Nationwide, only 22% of eligible pregnant patients have received the vaccine. Dr. Fleming says that's a surprisingly low percentage, believed to be due to the lack of data or guidance initially released by the CDC. Pregnant women were not included in initial trials by vaccine makers. Therefore, the CDC couldn't make an official recommendation. But last week, they released new safety data urging the pregnant population to get their shots.
If you look at hospitalizations now, 95% of patients who are hospitalized and dying from the virus it's because of they're unvaccinated, and it's due to Delta variant.
According to the CDC, pregnant women who contract COVID-19 are likely to have a more severe infection, be hospitalized, and need a ventilator. Contracting the virus while pregnant could also cause miscarriage or even stillbirth. Rook says thankfully she wasn't hospitalized while sick, but wants to ensure the safety of her unborn child.
We now have the responsibility to protect 2 young kids, which is kind of scary on its own, let alone in the middle of a pandemic.
Not only are you protecting yourself, but you're protecting your baby, you're protecting your family, your community, and you're helping to end the pandemic.
Dr. Fleming adds women who got the vaccine while pregnant had a higher level of antibodies in their system and in their children than those moms who did not get the shot while pregnant but did get the virus. Mallory Smith, KCAU 9 News.
All right, thanks so much, Mallory. And as the COVID-19 pandemic rages on, the Biden administration tonight is vowing to take on governors who are blocking mask mandates in schools. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona sent a letter to Governor Kim Reynolds and the director of the Iowa Department of Education, Ann Lebo, saying Iowa may be breaking federal law. The American Rescue Plan requires a return-to-learn plan from districts during the pandemic that meets CDC recommendations. Right now, those recommendations are to wear a mask indoors, something Iowa law forbids. Today, Governor Kim Reynolds questioned the CDC's mask guidance.
Where's the data that the CDC is using to justify the mask mandate? N95s, yep, they work.
The CDC has an entire page dedicated to summarizing the use of cloth masks to limit the spread of the SARS-CoV-2 virus, or COVID-19. The page cites more than 50 scientific studies that show cloth masks reduce the spread of coronavirus. And tonight, concerns arose about an alleged misuse of funds in Woodbury County. The Woodbury County Board of Supervisors allegedly used more than $15 million out of $20 million allocated of COVID-19 recovery money. That's to cover the increased cost of the new Woodbury County prison project. Speakers advocated for funds to go towards homelessness, education, and other people-focused projects. Businesses in nearly every industry have struggled to find people willing to work, with state parks being no exception. KCAU 9's Dylan Adams tells us how operations at Ponca State Park have changed due to the worker shortage.
As the Missouri River Outdoor Expo is quickly approaching, just a month away, officials at Ponca State Park continue to deal with a lack of help as they prepare to host thousands of people in a few weeks. Ponca State Park has a lot to offer for those who visit. The Towers in Time waterfall, an oak tree that might be the oldest in the state, in the Eric Wiebe Memorial Shooting Complex. But this summer, things are running a bit differently, says Regional Superintendent Jeff Fields.
We wanted to kind of alert people, the public, that we're potentially going to reduce some of our services and hours and some of those things. So we wanted to make sure everybody was kind of alerted to that.
Fields says it's not unusual to lose some staff members around this time of year.
It's pretty normal for us to have staff leaving because of school starting, both college and high school. But having it go, that 70% has been kind of all season long. We've been struggling to get staff, so we've been operating on, instead of 8 cylinders, maybe 6 cylinders most of the season.
That 70% he's referring to is the estimated portion of the workforce the parks normally operate under every summer. And with the 16th annual Missouri River Expo right on the horizon, set for September 18th and 19th, Fields says that his group is, quote, gearing up for it, but that the event that hosts dozens of activities could look different from years past.
Working hard on getting things ready for that. There'll be a few changes this year. We're kind of monitoring the COVID-19 situation, obviously, and are prepared to adjust however we need to.
Fields told me that the horse trail rides and the swimming pool will be open on weekends only here on out until Labor Day weekend, due to losing many of their lifeguards and horse wranglers. Dylan Adams, KCAU 9 News.
The 217th annual Omaha Tribe Powwow returns this year with new COVID-19 safety protocols in place. The tribe announced they will not be checking visitors for proof of vaccination, but face masks are still required at all times during that event, and social distancing will also be encouraged. The powwow began today, and it runs until August 22nd. An Omaha Tribe committee member explains the cultural significance of that celebration.
Our families come together, and in that arena, they sing, and they dance, they come together and enjoy themselves there. But during that time, they're also praying. So it has a ceremonial aspect where we're out here giving thanks.
Sheridan told KCAU he anticipates more than 3,000 visitors to visit throughout the weekend. The month of August is nearly over, and that means Siouxland children are heading back to the classroom, if not now, soon. But first, kids and parents at Les Hills Elementary School are getting a chance to visit their new classrooms and also to meet their new teachers at the district's Back to School event. This year's event was organized much like last year's to help encourage social distancing. Even with the changes, though, the Back to School event helps the kids ease into the school year.
I think it breaks the ice for the kids. The parents kind of know, and then it doesn't happen the morning of. They kind of know where they're going, and they've met their teacher, and it just kind of breaks the ice.
Students in the Sioux City Community School District start class this coming Monday, so just a few days of summer left, and no disappointment for those kids in the weather department. Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson joins us now, and Scott, it has surely felt like summer all week, locked and loaded, and even at night those temperatures really lingering.
Yeah, it's still very warm outside, Sophie, but as we get to the start of the school season next week, it does look like we will have some more back to school flavored sort of weather, as it does look like we'll cool things off pretty nicely over the course of this weekend. So something to look forward to as it remains awfully muggy and warm outside. outside in Sioux City right now. As we look out from the top of the Ho-Chung Center, looking off to the west, things are fairly quiet for the time being with just a few clouds filtering in, but some thunderstorms are expected as we head into our Friday. Here's a look at the almanac for today. The high temperature was able to exceed average by about 10 degrees, moving up to 91 this afternoon, and the low temperature today in Sioux City at 67. This may be among the last 90-degree high temperature days that we see in 2021. Here's a look at our temperatures now. You can see that those are in the 70s throughout most of Siouxland, so it remains very mild out there. Temperature of 79 degrees in Yankton, South Dakota, 78 to the west in O'Neill. Right now it is 76 in Wayne, 77 in Norfolk. Temperature of 77 also in Takema. Still 80s for Omaha, 81 degrees there. And low to mid 70s are being observed across most of northwest Iowa. It's now 75 degrees in Cherokee, 77 in Spencer. A temperature of 73 to the east in Buena Vista County for Storm Lake. Dew points are still right around 70 degrees. That's what's making it feel very muggy outside. Certainly a night that you want to opt for the air conditioner rather than open up the windows. And the wind is still pumping in from the southeast. We have that sustained between 5 and 10 miles per hour. It looks like the wind is going to accelerate tomorrow with some gusts between 30 and 40 as a cold front starts to pinch in. Looking at the satellite radar picture now, it shows that we do have some pretty strong thunderstorms that are continuing to brew up to our west, passing through central parts of the state of Nebraska at this time. These storms have a history of producing some very strong wind gusts, large hail, heavy downpours as those continue to cruise pretty much right along Interstate 80, continuing to move in toward the city of North Platte. That is also where the National Weather Service has put out a tornado watch inside of the yellow on your screen. Again, we're talking about far northwestern parts of Kansas into eastern Colorado and western Nebraska. So this system is likely to be moving our way as we continue into tomorrow and could pose similar threats with large hail damaging winds and a few tornadoes. So certainly want to pay attention to things as they evolve with this system. You can see that here as we move through time on the stormcast that we will have those storms continue to pass from west to east. It looks like they will weaken to an extent as they get into Wednesday morning as temperatures remain rather seasonal in the low to mid 80s. It'll become cooler in the extended forecast there, looking a little bit more like back to school weather with some sunshine and highs right around 80 degrees next Thursday and Friday. Well, tomorrow morning could be a little bit dicey out there with some of those strong storms in the neighborhood, but here's a more pleasant shot that was taken by one of our viewers. If you have a picture that you want to share, go to SiouxlandProud.com, go to the weather tab, send us your photos.
Yes, a great shot there. Thanks a lot, Scott. And many workplaces may have a hidden closet, but one Siouxland business has a much more unusual feature.
When I first came on the job and I noticed that we had a cemetery in the middle of our operations, I was really surprised.
However, now the businesses are looking to expand, and their neighbors 6 feet under are looking for a new resting place. We'll explain the situation next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Tim Seaman, Sophie Erber, Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson, and Sports Director Jake Jones. This is KCAU 9 News at 10.
Cemeteries are often referred to as a final resting place, but that might not be the case for one Siouxland graveyard. Tim Seaman shows us why and explains a proposal years in the making in this week's edition of Siouxland Stories.
It's a hillside home for some 1,200 folks who've taken their last breath on Earth. What remains are names and numbers etched on aging headstones. It sits almost completely hidden.
When I first came on the job and I noticed that we had a cemetery in the middle of our operations, I was really surprised. And the more you talk to community members about it, they have no idea that a cemetery exists there.
Since the early 1800s, this land has served as the final resting place for some of the area's first settlers, Civil War veterans, and everyday people. But for those remembered here, it is not a peaceful rest. Today, Woodbury Township Cemetery in Sergeant Bluff is surrounded by the sprawling industrial operation of brickworks and home to the Holman family more than 100 years ago.
Holman is the first person that allowed maybe a friend or an ancestor to be buried in what used to be an old brick property. One grave site maybe led to 10 and 20, and it's expanded over the years. It's not appropriate for the cemetery to exist where it is today and then to continue to have industrial operations all around it.
Since the property has no remaining plots, is built on a hard-to-walk hillside, and operates on gifts and volunteers, a cemetery expansion committee has partnered with Brickworks to explore how the cemetery might be relocated, something first discussed years ago.
That's my grandfather, Jess, and great-grandfather. I knew him. He lived in a...
Bonnie Stevenson serves on the expansion committee.
The opportunity to have a more appropriate, accessible location for these plots is a blessing. To me, it's an appropriate place for their final resting place.
It's an expensive undertaking. Brickworks, based in Australia, has pledged millions to the project.
When it rains, it's very difficult.
Few better understand the obstacles this piece of property is facing than board member Jerry Loggeman.
Here's an example of a family plot, and through the years it's deteriorated. And how do we go about to repair this when there's no money to repair this site? It's just going to simply get worse. You're just struggling and struggling. It's kind of one of those things that everybody expects somebody else to take care of.
So how might Woodbury County's oldest cemetery become the county's newest?
You have to have a court order. You have to have a permit issued. We'll have a funeral director on site. We're going to hire our own project manager to also supervise with the advice of an archaeologist that will be advising on the best methods to go about this.
The cemetery board will be asked to give its blessing to the project in October, as will the next of kin.
We have hired a private investigator who's tracked down the next of kin for almost all of the people that are currently buried there.
If approved, the new cemetery would be built a short distance from the current site, as this fly-through video shows, mirroring the current plot alignment, with a designated section to honor veterans and their wives, a cremation memorial, and it would be easily accessible with 4 times the number of plots.
It's an absolute privilege to be able to hopefully build something that will allow people to go and visit ancestors in a nice, serene place.
It's appropriate.
A final decision on the proposed relocation and rebuild is still months away, but if approved, Brickworks will eventually begin operations on the old cemetery site while providing a 10-acre site for that new cemetery. If you'd like to learn more about the proposal or share your opinion, you can visit our website right now at SiouxlandProud.com or click this story on the KCAU 9 mobile news app. And we switch gears now. KCAU 9 sports director Jake Jones is here. And Jake, what do you have tonight?
Well, it's our 5th team in our KCAU 9 two-a-days coming up this evening. I'll tell you more about the West Lyon Wildcats preseason preps still to come after the break.
We had a hot day here in Siouxland. Those temperatures holding on tonight. But if you're one of those people complaining, remember, Scott reminded us this could be one of the last 90-degree days of 2021.
Yeah, the average high is 82 for today. So once we get past today, it does look like we're going to be a little on the cooler side, at least generally speaking here moving forward. 72 the overnight low temperature with some thunderstorms starting to cruise in after midnight. It looks like tomorrow we'll have some off and on rain and thunderstorms, some of which will be severe. So make sure to keep a watch for changing conditions. You can see that we do have a slight risk of severe weather across the majority of Siouxland for tomorrow. 80 the high temperature on Saturday, some nice relief from the heat and some additional small rain chances Sunday and again Tuesday night.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Thank you for joining us all. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow. Until then, have a great night.